Chapter 4. Aretha's rocking chair creaks under her weight as she slowly rocks, watching Camille sleep. She could barely stand the soft ticking of the grandfather clock in the distance or the quiet in the room. The sooner Camille rose, the better. Aretha is anxious to talk. Her son has been dead less than 10 days, and here is his wife being brought to her house drunk by a cabbie, carried in and left without an explanation. The foolish ways of young people didn't usually bother her, but this was a bit much. She knew Camille was in pain and deserved time to grieve, but there was a proper way to do it, and then there was this. Camille, conked out on the couch, is definitely an unattractive sight. She lay sprawled out on her stomach with an arm and a leg hanging off the side of the sofa, feet blackened from yard soil and sidewalk dirt, hair tangled, dress tucked between her thighs, white flakes framing her mouth. Nope, this is definitely not her finest moment. Stirring slightly as if she was about to be awakened, Camille reaches back to scratch her hind part. That is the last straw. She didn't care if it was 5 in the morning. Good morning to you, missy, Aretha says just before hand butt contact is made. She speaks loudly, determined to wake the girl up. Ma'am, Camille gargles. I said, good morning, Aretha repeats, to which Camille smacks her lips, tasting their dryness, and then opens her eyes. She squeezes them shut as the sun's rays show no mercy. Good morning, she croaks as she removes the crust from her eyes and mouth. That sun's really something, isn't it? That's God's way of telling us that the day's gonna be good to us, baby, Aretha replies. I wish my head knew as much. Camille strains, sitting up, holding the side of her head in her hands. Hangovers know no mercy. Come on, a little breakfast in your stomach would do you good, Aretha says, exiting the room. Camille gets up to follow, but pauses to catch her balance. So you want to tell me what happened last night? Aretha calls from the kitchen. Last night? Camille stumbles. You know, you always welcome here, any time, day or night, but I prefer you to be sober, Aretha states, turning on the coffee maker. Oh, that. Camille pauses in the kitchen doorway. Now, baby, I know you hurtin', but that liquor ain't nothing but the devil's nectar. We gets grace when we sip it once in a while, but tasting it too often leads to trouble, like strange men bringing you home. Hold up, Miss Aretha, Camille interrupts. I don't mean no disrespect, but if I remember correctly, that strange man had your number on speed dial. Look a here, don't get sassy with me. Here, Aretha hands her a steaming cup coffee mug. I'ma ask the questions. Where your shoes? You left them at the curb. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. You left them at the club. You know I don't do clubs, Camille reminds her, sitting down at the wooden table. Then you know I don't do drunk either, Aretha replies, pouring a second cup of coffee. I had a little to drink, got locked out, and then headed over here. That's my story. What's yours? Camille inquires, glancing up over the rim of the mug. Aretha sits down next to her. I did give that boy my number, 'cause he's around town, driving people places, and I just thought he might help you get your groove back, Camille jokes, blowing gently on the hot coffee. Would you say, hush, girl? Aretha pretends to swat Camille. I thought he might see something, and I look, baby. I thought something like this might happen. What if it hadn't been him? What if some other man had found you shuffling down the street? With eyes downcast, Camille sips her coffee. I miss him so much. I know, baby. I know, Aretha replies, touching her arm, but you gotta fight to keep it together. I hear you, Miss Aretha. Just give me some time. After giving a slow nod and warm smile, Aretha rises from the kitchen table. She ties on her apron. Well, we don't need everybody to be asking questions. You know how these grown folks around here talk. So take my car and get on home. My keys are on the hook by the side door. You know where I keep them. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Camille says, giving Aretha a quick kiss on the cheek as she heads towards the door. See you at 11 for the will reading, Aretha confirms. I'll be there, Camille answers, fiddling with the keys. You want me to pick you up? Aretha takes out a skillet and pot from a lower cupboard. That's all right. Ray Ray gonna drive me over. Ray Ray and who else? Just any other cousins and aunties and uncles. Everybody that's still in town. That's all. Aretha answers. Any from his dad's side? I wouldn't know. I don't think so. You know how people are. They don't show their face any day of the week, but if there's a button on a thread on a dead man's jacket, they gotta snatch it first. I bet his daddy bet not step one fat foot in that attorney's office today, Camille warns. He won't. You never know, Camille continues. I'm sure, child. How you know? 'Cause he don't know, Aretha says, whipping eggs in a bowl. Who don't know? Camille is confused. His daddy. His what? Wait, what do you mean? Aretha sighs and continues measuring, mixing, and pouring. Wonderful smells begin filling the kitchen, but Camille is far too focused to get distracted. Miss Aretha? Camille calls out. Baby, I've been some places, done some things, and seen some stuff I ain't proud of. Aretha begins as she opens the oven to check on the muffins. I really don't understand. Fred said you and his dad met in college. He left you pregnant, and he's only seen the man from a distance a few times. Fred was a good boy, baby. The best son a mama could ask for. Until you, that boy lived for me. Aretha stresses. I raised a good one. One that didn't cheat or steal or lie. Oh no, not my baby. He made me proud. I know that, but what? Let me finish. I couldn't risk him hating me and himself over what I did. Picking up the timer from the counter, Aretha turns to Camille. She wipes her hands on a towel. I was in college, my sophomore year. They're on scholarship. I know I ain't much today, but back then I was as smart as they came. Yes, Lord. She raises her hand in the air, letting out a laugh. She shakes her head and smiles, revealing a dimple in her fat cheeks. I was too smart for those poor Negro schools we had back home. A straight A student. Yes, ma'am. My family was so proud of me. I was the first one to finish high school and go to college. My daddy told everyone on the block about how the white folk was going to educate his nigger child. Yes, indeed, Aretha chuckles to herself. They thought it was comical. Me, a black child, an African American going off to some fancy white college. That practically made headlines. Shoot, I was proud of me. That is, until the grades started coming in. Whites were smarter than us back then. Maybe not smarter, but they were better prepared when they went to college. Anyway, I did my best and hung in through my freshman year, but by the second year, I was flunking out. I lost my scholarship. I couldn't go back home and crush their dreams. I was feeling that enough myself. No, ma'am. I made my way, paid my way. Miss Aretha, you hooked? Camille asked and quickly covered her mouth with her hand. Aretha scoffs. Child, no. I got wind of a couple that wanted to use my body to have their baby. As a surrogate? Yes. They were going to pay me. Well, that really doesn't matter. Aretha continues as she lays strips of bacon in a skillet. Let's just say it would cover my tuition for the remaining 2 years and then some. But it didn't take. The guy really wanted a baby for his lady, so he proposed that he could give you his sperm? Camille gulps. She doesn't know if she wants all those details. Yeah, but not the nasty way. I wasn't having that outside of God's holy arrangement. We agreed on artificial insemination, Aretha recalls as the bacon starts to sizzle. And he backed out after it was all said and done? Nope, not exactly. Not him, but me. Aretha clarifies. You, I, I don't. Why? I wanted that education. Oh, I love me some learning. Aretha stares off into the distance. It's what got me out of the bed many a day. But when I realized life was growing inside of me, I had to do something. What did you do? Camille presses with much interest. Aretha flips the bacon and moves it around in the pan with a fork. We came to a happy medium, and Fred's daddy walked away, and you let him. It was for the best. Not perfect, but I don't regret it. But you didn't tell. Fred didn't need to know, baby. It didn't hurt him. I like to think I spared him. Aretha explains, turning her attention back to the muffins in the oven. Camille wanted to press the issue, but upon noticing the visible tightening of Miss Aretha's jaw muscle, she changes her mind. I'm sure you did what you thought was best. Camille pauses. I guess I'll see you later. Bye, baby. Aretha says as Camille leaves. People just don't get it. When you make plans, you gotta see them through. End chapter.